All right, I'm live. Hello, hello, hello. Who's out there? Ali Oxenfree. Is anybody out there tonight? I'm grabbing, trying to take a look at my wall. I am excited to be here. My name's Diane Hockman, and I am broadcasting several different places right now. We'll see if we can get a few people to come around. Want to talk about a couple of secrets and ideas and things, see if we get some feedback, and then also get your opinion. And I'm just going to share this around a couple places. So if you are on, give me a shout. I'll check the comments in.
Ideas.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Shush, 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 shush. Hit. All right. Share. I want to share it. No, I don't want to share it there. I'm having technical difficulties. Please stand by. Who's here? And what's going on? Sharing a group. EMAILEX. What is the darn group called? Yeah, email marketing. Why does it not want to let me share there? Oh, there it is. Excellent. So let me get back to my wall. So if we have not met, although I doubt there's too many people here that haven't met me, but if you want to share, feel free to share. My name's Diane Hockman, and I have been in this incredible home business industry for 21 freaking years, which is absolutely crazy. Hello, Andrew, Doug, Cindy, Dina. Thanks, Dina. Hey, Kim Stevens, Goat Girl. She's calling me the digital dingbat. Well, Kimmy, I'm getting better and better. You'd be so impressed with some of the stuff that's going on and some of the stuff that I've learned to do and I'm working on. So today I was kind of blown away. I'm working on a project, which I'll tell you about in a minute because it might interest a few of you guys. And I went into, do you guys know what the Whois is? The Whois, where you can look up who owns a website and when it was originally registered and stuff. And there's a funny story I could tell you about that. There was this guy back in the day, like 2000, I don't know what year. He was running ads on Google that says Diane Hockman is a scam. And I was like, who is this? Like, who is targeting me that way? There was a lot of that going on at the time. It was like this negative advertising campaigns, and they take you to a website and say, well, they're not really a scam. They're really great. You should look at the opportunity, yada, yada. So that was when I first learned how to look up who owns a website and the information on a website. It's called the Whois database, WHOIS. So you could look up any domain and find out, unless it's hidden information, when it was registered, who owns it, etc. And I called up that young whippersnapper and I was like, who are you? And I figured out he was on my list and we had talked before. Turns out it was none other than Fernando Ceballos, who is the head guy over at attractionmarketing.com. And he was just so funny because he was like, oh, it's this cool new technique. But that's how I learned how to look up information about a website. So today, because I'm working on an advanced email project, I looked up when I registered the domain twistyourlist.com, which, by the way, if you go there, it's not directed at anything at the moment. So it won't there. I don't think it is. I don't know what it's directed to, but I registered that domain in March 2006, which means I've been teaching people to twist their list for 15 freaking years. So what does that mean, twist your list? One, email marketing is still as big and as relevant as it has ever been. Ask any online networker, really good online networker, any internet marketer, look around at some of the big names and people that you love. They all have an email list. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys for some opinions in a couple minutes because, I look at something and I go, well, all the big guys do it and it's making everybody money. It makes sense to me. So I started teaching people about twisting your list, which means turning it into a cash flow recruiting machine. And there's this part I don't, have you guys ever seen the movie The Prestige? And I should look at the comments. There's a movie called The Prestige. Mr. Williams is here. Is Mr. Williams here? That would be nice. Hello, Alice. Hello. Dawn, hello. There's a movie called The Prestige, and it's about magic. And the prestige in a magic trick is the point where that little flip where the magic happens, where you become mystified. Okay, watch the movie. It's a good movie. I think it's available on Amazon Prime. So the twist is like the prestige. There's a time and place in an email where you're telling a story, you're talking about something, and then you twist it to take people to the place you want to take them, or get them to look at what you want them to look at, or go where you want them to go. It's called I call it the twist. And so I've always said, twist your list into a cash flow recruiting machine. And if you knew how many people I signed up back in the day just with that domain name, twist your list. And I did a course with one of the organizations I'm affiliated with, Twist Your List Pro, which was their, I kind of white labeled it for them. And I've been doing this for years, and I have taught. Mr. Williams writes, I am here. Hi, Jeanette. So I've been teaching this stuff and showing this stuff, and I've had students go on. I've spotted a couple students that had a real talent, and they were struggling in network marketing and having a hard time. And then I was like, dude, you're supposed to be doing this. I have a couple of them that went on to do incredibly well. One of them literally heard I was in Dallas, called me, asked if he'd come over, brought his wife and his baby. I knew him before he was married and had a kid, to thank me, because he's become I don't know what he's doing right now at this moment, but over 6 figures in copy, email, funnel copy, and just copy in general, on top of his physical therapist position and salary. So it was like this huge boon to them. I showed him how to write. I've had student after student after student that's come to me and insisted, I can't write, I don't know what to write, and walked out writing beautifully, and stunned and shocked at how it enhanced and increased their business. So the twist is the magical part where you learn, or when you influence a reader. Okay. So I am doing an advanced email workshop right now. I promoted it kind of haphazardly. If anybody knows me, I'm not exactly somebody who puts together these big infrastructures. Andrew's here, and he's probably like just wringing his hands as usual because I'm so all over the place. But I decided I wanted to do an advanced email workshop because a couple of people had been asking me. And I have tons of students, literally thousands of students, that have taken the basics with me. So I thought, okay, let me put this out. And then I kind of got tied up and I didn't promote it that hard. And we're quite in kind of an intimate group right now, which is cool with me. I'm perfectly happy. But and then there was a bunch of people, as always, that were like, absolutely, I want it. And then they're nowhere to be found. And then later on they'll go, oh, I missed it. So I have thank you, Andrew, amazing yet ADHD-ish. So a crew of people probably will come looking for me, and hopefully I can get this in their hands before it's too late. But what was happening is a lot of people were hitting me up and saying, I really want to be in this workshop because I've heard your workshops are crazy amazing, but I didn't have the fundamentals. I didn't have the basics, so I'm not all set up to go. So I thought to myself, well, I can just leave these people and tell them to get it later, or I can decide to take the workshop, which is called the Email Marketing Extravaganza, and add on my famous Twist Your List course at the beginning of it so that everybody could catch up and be up to speed. And then those people that wanted to do the advance, a bunch of people have already signed up for the advance, but those people that want to continue on and do the advance, they can. So I just dropped the very first video for the Twist Your List into my Facebook group for this workshop. And I wanted to come out and just talk about it a little, whether or not you're ready for a workshop or a course, or you want hands-on help, because that's what this is, hands-on help with your writing. Not the Twist Your List, that's just videos and watching and learning from that. But the advanced stuff is very hands-on, working with people strategically. But for those of you, oh, and just in case anybody doesn't know, and I really, I'm always just very sheepish about it, but I am the #1 affiliate and have been for quite some time out of, it was 100,000, but by now it's probably got to be 120,000. I have written letters that have recruited 100 people. I've written letters that have yielded me over 5 figures. I've written letter sequences that have, I just did one that was multi 5 figures. So just, I think it was 6 or 7 letters. I've survived all these years. I survived through a horrible divorce where I wouldn't come out and I had makeup dripping down my face and I wouldn't talk to anybody and I didn't shower. And I make fun of it now, but it was like the darkest days of my life. And I survived that period because of my email list and my content library. So email, it's the quickest, fastest, most incredible way to sell over time as you build it up. It is a way that when things are bad, you can hide. If you can't come out, you still can write that list. It is a way that you can create this library of letters that you can recycle and use over and over and over again. My letter database, just from the broadcasts I've done, it's probably 2,000 letters now. And by the way, sometimes I let people have that if they're in my workshops. And it's funny because there's very few people that actually go through there. If I said to you here's all the letters that she used to become this. Here's all the letters from the beginning when she was pathetic and could barely write, all the way up till today. Here's all the letters. If I said to you, here they are, would you look at them? I think I have a couple students that actually write them out and learn. Not that many look at it, which I always find fascinating because I have every word my mentor ever wrote. Every word, more words than he has himself. I have them. It's like cherished gold, marketing gold. I'm really good because I've gone through his stuff over and over and over. I have a library full of the greatest minds in marketing. And I'm not saying I'm one of the greatest minds. I'm like a digital dingbat all over the place. But if someone said to you, here's how to become the top person and survive working from home for 21 years, here's the content, here's the training, and here's the content, wouldn't you take a look at it? I mean, I'm just saying, wouldn't you take a look at it? Doesn't that make sense? Dina says, I would. Of course you would, Dina, because you're a go-getter and you're just like, amazing. But the average person wouldn't. I spend day in, day out listening people tell me the reasons why they don't use this technique that I've been teaching for 15 years in their business. I watch people that have been around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years and more that still don't have an email list. And then when their company goes belly up, they cry and they whine and da-da-da-da-da. Or then when something happens in their life and then they come back and they start all over again. And it's just over and over and over, starting over and over again because they resist this. So why do you guys think that is? Why do you think that people resist learning the very skill that is simple, inexpensive? It's actually free to start. Simple, inexpensive. You can do it in your underwear. You can do it naked for all I care. I just don't want to see the pictures. Okay. Well, unless you're really cute. If you're really cute, I'm kidding. You can do it from anywhere. You could do it through dictation if you needed to. You could do it hanging by your toes from the ceiling if you needed to. Why, oh, why do you think people resist learning this? Did you know that right now the Twister list, the new version that I'm doing, is $200? It's $200. The advanced workshop, which you don't have to be advanced because you get the basic training included, is $500 with hands-on, one-on-one help with the type of letters that you need for your database. It's not like it's thousands of dollars. It's not like it costs you a bunch of stuff in software. It's not like it's very technical. It's not. Trust me, it's not. Once you get set up, and I even have somebody that could set it up for you if you really absolutely want to resist setting it up. But the tool that I use to do this, I mean, it literally says, what's your name? What's your this? What's your that? You hit a button and it's up and running. So why would people, Dina, we're literally starting today, the first video, which is just like a couple minutes long. There'll be another video in a few minutes, is in there. The advanced workshop is going to start over the weekend with customized appointments for everybody who's participating in that. But the videos and the basics are going on now. Now, Dina and some other people, you might be familiar. I've been teaching this course for 15 years. I did do a version of this course for a large organization some of us are affiliated with, and that product is still for sale. It's still there right now. It's still for sale. Anybody can go get it. Excellent course. It was cut in, I think, 2016. So it's 5 years ago we made it. It's evergreen information. Nothing ever changes in this concept. So if you've done that course, you can watch this for a review if you want. But if you've done that course, you have that information and you're qualified to come into the advanced work. Some of you guys have done email writing workshops with me, which is the same similar information. You're qualified to come into the advanced workshop. The advanced workshop is one-on-one appointments with each person that's involved in the workshop. And I didn't put up the link. The link to that is dianehockman.com/email extravaganza. I know, I always have fruity names. And I'll put that in the chat. But the advanced workshop is very hands-on, but very interactive. So each person, they were supposed to have one session, but I've given now everybody 2 sessions. And by the way, my hourly fee for copywriting work is $500 an hour. And you're getting 2 sessions of copywriting work working with you. Plus you get to watch everybody else's. And I can't extend that offer past tonight. I can't, because we'll be doing sessions for the rest of my life. But this thing is the coolest thing. But the Twist Your List course is just simple, plain, short snippets, learning how to set this up and learning how to get going. And I watch people resist something as simple as, if you're going to prospect someone, okay? And I've always thought this was the most logical thing, okay? If you're going to prospect someone, right? And then you say, I was wondering if you keep your options open, or whatever it is that you're messaging people, whatever you've been taught to do. And you message them, or you talk to them at, out and about, because hopefully we're all going to be going out somewhere now, knock on wood, things are looking up. Let's just keep hoping. And you meet someone, you prospect them, okay? How many times can you follow up with that person before they block you? How many times can you call that person or message that person on Messenger before they're like, oh my God, this person won't leave me alone. They won't stop. How many times? What do you guys think? How many times do you think you can follow up with a person in a year, right? 2, 3, right? They're going to see you on the caller ID. They're not going to take your call. And on Messenger, if you message people and solicit them too much, they block you. So prospecting straight still is important, and it works, and it's very good. But I prospect for my newsletter, not for my opportunity. The reason why is because if they agree to receive information from me, you know how many times I can hit them up a year and ask them to buy something from me? 365, literally. Well, I don't mail on Christmas and major holidays, but I mail multiple times on some days. So you could hit them up over and over and over again. People write me back. Like, I'll send out a letter that's selling something. Somebody writes me back and is having a conversation with me about something else, because they don't even perceive that they're being heavily pitched or sold to. They are just constantly being offered different things, and people take the offers that make sense to them, the things that feel good to them. It's like walking down the aisles in Target. You walk by, you pick up what you want. You don't feel like you're being solicited. Email gives you the opportunity to build relationship like no other, Because what people don't understand is they think I'm writing a letter. You build up your list and you got 300 people, 500 people. You think you're writing to 500 people. You're not writing to 500 people. You're writing to one person, because one person reads that letter at a time. And the things that I teach in Twist Your List and Email Extravaganza teach you how to create an intimacy with that person, with that, I hate calling people leads because it makes them like they're a commodity, but building an intimacy and a relationship and trust between you and the prospect. When that happens, they feel free to call you. They call you. They feel free to email you back and ask you questions. They email you. They feel free to hit you up on Facebook. They message you. And it is a unique relationship. And granted, a lot of people don't do this well, and they're very abusive with their email list. But if you really run this like a modern day mom and pop, a great home business, and you talk to people you want to be talked to, and you invite them to come to different things, you'll be stunned at what starts to happen. All of a sudden, you're getting 5 people on the webinar. You used to not be able to get one after working all day. You send out a little email, you got 5 people on the webinar. You get 10 people on the webinar. Next thing you know, you're closing people left and right without even talking. They're signing themselves up. It's crazy what is possible with email if you would just make a decision to sit down. And yes, it takes a little time, but so does prospecting. So if you're going to prospect, why not get them on your list? Because my mentor always said, and I repeat this over and over and over, we're repeating it for 20 years, don't beg people for their time. For their money. Don't beg people for their money, beg them for their time. If you beg someone for their money, if you ask them for their money and they say no, you can't go back. If you get someone to give you their time and they hang around, they're exposed to your offers over and over and over and over until it's the right time for them. It's like the clock is tick, 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 ding, 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 ding. I'm ready for something today, or this is the right offer for me today. Whether it's the right price point, it's the right subject matter, or it's the right, or maybe they, use health and wellness and they went to the doctor today and that they have high blood pressure, or they have this, or they have to take off weight, or whatever. I don't know what you sell. They're looking at their finances. They just did their taxes. They're like, this is ridiculous. I got to change my life. And you're in their inbox on the right day, and they trust you because you've been entertaining them and amusing them and interesting them. And somebody's going, I can't be interesting. You can if you let me help you. So let me look and see what you guys are saying, because I think most of the people that are here are just kind of my diehard buddies. So, I may be singing to the choir. Susan, I'm so excited to have you with us as well. Yeah. Time freedom. Email gives an incredible amount of time freedom, because if you can get a letter out, you can do business today. You really have to build up that list, but you can go gung-ho and build it and then take a break and so on and so forth. I can teach all the different techniques, but in the end, it gives you an incredible amount of freedom. And yes, if you do this improperly and you do it poorly and you don't care about the people, they won't open your emails and your open rate will stink. And, if you don't write good subject lines, they're not going to open your emails. And if you say the same thing every day, they're not going to open your emails. But if you use the techniques I show about bond building communications, about sales communications, about storytelling, etc., people will open your list, open your emails. People will listen to you. People will come check you out, and you will do business. You will do business. So let me see. Yep. Don't beg people for their money. Ask them for their time. If they spend more time with you, they're inevitably going to give you money. It's just the way it is. I was talking the other day. I have a guy who's known me. I don't know. He probably met me in 2008. And he bought anything from me all these years. He just bought a big ticket item recently. It was amazing. I was like stunned because he's never bought. We've always been friendly. We've always had a great relationship. We've known him for forever. Always treated him great. Comes, goes, disappears, and this and that. And when he bought, I almost fell over. But I was delighted because I get to help him. You don't know who's looking for what on what day. You don't know who wants to buy on what day. You don't know when somebody, I hate to say it, but a lot of people are getting those, what do they call these checks that the government's sending out? I don't even know what they're called. I don't get them. People are getting money, and people have money to spend, and they're looking to invest in different things. Some people are just buying TVs. I don't know, but you know, there's people out there and you have to be in front of them the day they're looking. And instead of, you know, the old headline that my mentor wrote, which was used by multiple people, is become the hunted instead of the hunter. Instead of chasing people all over the place, have them start to chase you. And email is a very big part of it. Yeah, social's big, social's important, but I don't know. I don't think you're ever going to get me to change my mind, because as much as I've used other techniques, this one yields the most money. And I'm all about, how do you get leads and how do you make a sale? How do you get leads and how do you make a sale? It's all I'm ever worried about. I'm not worried about all the fancy stuff. I'm not worried about the doohickeys. How do you get leads? How do you make a sale? And if you could do those two things, and if you could do them quickly, simply, and inexpensively, that's the way I go. I'm old school. What can I tell you? So who was my mentor? His name is Joe Schroeder. He was the founder of Attraction Marketing. He's since retired from the whole space. A young man named Mike Dillard wrote a book based on his work and Dan Kennedy's work, both of them. And then that was the big thing that started Attraction Marketing, the big wave back in the day. And then My Lead System Pro was born, attractionmarketing.com was born. And now it's kind of like watered down over the years and stuff. But he was the guy who taught me this. And email was everything, is everything. I used email long before we had capture pages. That's why people, when they overcomplicate it, I don't understand it, and it's my fault. And that's why I'd like your thoughts, because we didn't have all of the technology back when I started doing this. I've had an email list since 2002. So there was no WordPress. I don't even know if Google was around, or, you know, in the main, you know, way that it is today. There was no, you know, ClickFunnels or Funnelizer or lead system, whatever. There was none of this. It's a very, very, very simple, basic process. You met a person, you ask them for their email, you put them in your follow-up system. That was it. And it's the way it is today for me too. I generally, like, I have capture pages, I know how to build them. I should do some giveaways and stuff. And a lot of people get all caught up in that. But I just generally use DianeHochman.com, and I just tell people to go over there. And everybody's like, well, I tell people to go and they don't go. And the reason why is because they don't think there's anything valuable for them there. So maybe you need to give them something. That's cool. A lot of you guys have different things that you could give away, or we can show you how to get some giveaways. Maybe you need to learn how to invite better. But if it's not working, you have to just dissect it and go, well, what part of it isn't working? But most often, the thing that isn't working is nobody tries. You know, if you invite 3 people to be on your email list and only 1 signs up and they don't open your email, you can't go, it doesn't work. You didn't invite anyone. If you invite 3 people to the opportunity meeting, 1 shows up and doesn't join, you can't say it doesn't work. You didn't do any work yourself. So let's see. I'm glad your introverts love my teachings on email, Dina. I truly am an introvert, as perky as I can get, because I'm so passionate about marketing. But if you take me into a room with a bunch of people I don't know, I'm the wallflower. I'm definitely sitting in the back. When I go to live events, and hopefully we have some soon, when I go to live events, I always sit in the back row. Everybody knows that. I never sit up amongst the people and run around. I sit in the back row and wait for people to find me. I also have a technique for events I can teach you guys to get people to come to you at events, so you don't have to run around and try to do that awkward, hi, where are you from? I don't do that well. I don't do small talk well. I'm looking down because I'm looking at the comments on my phone. Let's see. Yeah, Dana just said, I always look at my emails by the big guys in the arena, but they aren't always the best. They don't feel intimate. Let's talk about that for a minute. I am a small home business owner, okay? I'm not a big corporation, not a big company. I'm a mom. My kids are grown up, but I'm just a lady. I used to be at the end of the kitchen table. Now I actually have a real desk and everything. I even have a studio downstairs I never go into. And maybe I should start making some videos down there. Let's see if I do. I'm pretty energized lately. Who knows? Maybe you'll see some fancy stuff and you'll be like, whoa. I don't communicate with people like I'm a big corporation or try to pretend to be that, because my market is people that want a home business. Okay, let me say that again. My market is people that want a home business. Yes, you're allowed to share this if you think it's valuable to someone. My market is people that want a home business. So when I make it out like I'm this big fancy photo shoot, yada, 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 all the graphics, all the stuff, the person immediately looks at it and thinks, I can't be like that. I mean, a lot of you guys that don't have email lists, you've thought that too. You've thought, I can't be like that. So people start to eliminate themselves or exclude when we are too slick. Okay. I have people that have been on my email list since 2008. I have customers in the program that I'm the number one affiliate with that have been with me since 2011. People generally, a lot of people come and go. I'm not going to say that I'm immune to that, but people tend to hang around me. And it's not because I smell good, because I don't half the time. Today I might smell okay. And it's not because I'm so fabulous or scintillating. I'm usually kind of discombobulated, whatever. The reason why people hang around is because they know they can access me because there's an intimacy between us. One of the biggest, I answered the phone today. I have a new student, right? Just getting to know him. In fact, he signed up yesterday, spent $500 with me, which I think is a lot of money, so he spent $500 with me and he had called. And I missed his call, so I sent him a message, said, hey, I got you in the group. By the way, I'd love to connect with you just to get to know you a little bit. So he called and we talked for a little bit. Very nice guy. Those of you that are in the workshop will get to know him. And great conversation, real good energy. I got a good student. I'm super excited. And then a couple hours later, I was having lunch actually, and I was sitting in my living room watching a business video, because that's what I do. I watch business videos all day. I'm like pathetic. Whenever I'm sitting down in the living room, I'm generally watching a business video, a marketing video. And the phone rings and I see him on the caller ID. So I picked it up and I go, you miss me already? And he cracks up, right? Because I'm just having fun, guys. I run a small home business, a modern day mom and pop, a corner store. If you walked into a corner store and they were wearing tuxedos, now I don't know who grew up in a city, who grew up in the country. If you walked in the general store, right, in the country, in the city, it was the corner store. If you walked in and they were all dressed up and glammed up all the time, the dude's like slicing deli meat and stocking, the shelves and stuff like that. He's running a business. He doesn't look perfect every day. And in the home business industry, we have this weird obsession with trying to make believe we are what we're not. And I think it hurts most people because everybody's sitting around, talking like they're all, all this stuff going on, where the average person is just looking to make a couple $100. They're just looking to get started to come down the road. Now, maybe this crowd might be more ambitious and you're looking to do some serious business. I know a bunch of you are, I see who's here, but the average person that's just getting started, they're looking for somebody that they can talk to, that they trust, that they feel like, is like them. So my email list is very intimate. Now, granted, I'm a good copywriter after all these years. You can see my old letters. If you're in the group, I'll let you see the old letters. They were pathetic. They were, hi, tonight it's exciting. We're going to have a webinar and it's going to be at 8 p.m. and here's where you click to go. I'll see you there. That was my letter. There was no influence. There was no intrigue. There was none of the things that I could teach you now because I didn't know. I was just learning. But everybody knows it's just me talking to them when I write. I'm only talking to one person, writing thousands, talking to one person. I'm looking to see who's hot for what I'm talking about today. But I want to keep people around so that they hear my next message tomorrow. Let me see what else you guys. You need to get over that you're boring. Dina, you're the least boring woman I know. You are not boring, right? Lindsay's like, no, you're not. Okay. Thank you, Andrew. I like to think I'm a pretty good copywriter after all these years. But Andrew, it's funny. I can do copy and make believe I'm someone else. I'm really good at like assimilating somebody's personality. I'm like the Borg. Those of you who are Star Trek fans, I'm really good at kind of like, I could get into your shoes and write like I'm you. If anybody ever needs letters written, I do that. But I'm not good at writing like cheesy sales copy. I mean, I can, but I don't like it. I write from the heart, from the gut, sometimes from the mind, but usually not. Because people like analyze in their mind, but they buy from their heart and they buy from their crotch, so to speak. And I don't mean their crotch, their genitalia, but okay, I'm in. You ever done that last night? Offer ending. It's a quarter to 12. Offers for 12. Okay, forget it. I'm in. And you get your credit card out. That's from the crotch. Okay, that's like the I'm gonna buy. From the heart is, oh my God, I love these people. This makes so much sense. And then sometimes from the mind, we'll look at the numbers. But most often the numbers actually just validate what the heart or the crotch is saying. So sorry to be weird, but it's true. Dina, that's why you need to be involved in some of this stuff, because I take people from beginner and they are shocked with what they're writing by the time they're done with me. They are shocked because I teach them patterns that help them. Basically what I have is a system of building blocks, or Lego blocks, if you will. They're different components that you can use in a letter, and then you mix and match them. You kind of click them together. I'm not going to tell you what they are. Some of you guys know what they are. You click them together so the letter is interesting, and it doesn't always feel the same, but they're intimate, and they're, sometimes they're amusing. You'd be stunned at what you can write with some direction. You're good with words, Dina, which means you're going to be good at writing. You just don't realize it yet, because we were taught in high school to write like your English teacher wanted you to write, your 11th grade term paper or whatever. I teach you to write like you talk, because that's the number one rule of copy, right? You write like you talk. And when you start realizing how to write like you talk instead of trying to sound fancy, everything changes. Like, I often start my letters like mid-sentence. Because if I called one of you, if we were good friends, like Ginny's here, right? If I called Ginny would see me on caller ID and she'd go, hey, Di, so listen, I'm going to do this thing later and blah, 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 blah. I just jump in. I don't go, hi, Ginny, how are you? I hope you're having a happy Tuesday. By the way, whoever is teaching people that the way to do business is to wish people happy day of the week, I had to unfriend some people. And I'm sorry if you hear this. I'm sorry, you can come back, but I can't handle it. Every freaking post I put up, happy Tuesday, have a glorious Monday, it's a sunny Wednesday. Who is teaching them to do this? Because there's like too many of them. It's not like they did it on their own. They're just all like running around and commenting on every post, wishing me a happy Tuesday, thinking that I'm magically going to go, this is the person I want to buy from. I want to sign up in an MLM with this person because they wished me a happy Tuesday. Make them stop. Make them stop. So let's see. I start the email and then start over and never consistent because I feel I'm intruding. Okay, Dina, let's have therapy. Does everybody want to watch me give Dina therapy? Dina, when you put posts in like the women's groups and the places that you put posts, do you feel like you're intruding in there? Because you put them all the time. I see you put them all the time, and I see all the people comment, and I see you say, I'm DMing you, and you DM them. Do you feel like you're intruding on those people, or do you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing? I know you do, because you're Diane therapy, right? You're always connecting with people, right? So if you started doing the same activity that you're already doing, but inviting people to your newsletter, so you invite them to a group, which is another great way to mass communicate. And I'm all for it. And I know people that have built fortunes with groups, and I think it's wonderful. But I wouldn't have a group that I didn't first get them on a list. And the reason why is because I've watched for year after year after year, Facebook can shut something down on a dime. It happened to me once. I had 600 students in a course, the first day of the course in a Facebook group, and Facebook shut it down, shut me down. I wasn't allowed to post. And then I had to take an alter ego. Some of you guys were around back then, and start another profile. And then Facebook yelled at me for another profile, and yada, yada, yada. Facebook cannot control your life. If you let Facebook control your life and your business, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. So I always want them on the list before I let them in the group. And by the way, many of the big dogs that I know that have incredible groups, they make you get on the list before they give you the link to the group. And the reason why is because then they can email you. Because if Facebook changes, and by the way, have you guys noticed there's a big change in Facebook lately? My whole feed is full of people that I don't really know, which to me is great because I can start engaging and posts that don't use them up my feed. But right now, my feed has changed dramatically and they're moving dramatically towards stories. And I think part of the reason they're just changing the feed because they're psychologically weaning you off your feed and into the stories, because you're not seeing any of the people that you like to see, you're going to go to stories. So they're gravitating you there, and more and more and more they're going to phase out this feed. And here's what happens when they phase out the feed, and I want you guys to hear this. Those of you that are here, the smart kids that hung around, when they phase out the feed, and they will, you lose the leverage. Like, it bugs me, but I have to work around it. I can make a post and it gets seen by a lot of people, or it used to, and I have a lot of engagement, and I could work those people in the engagement. But if Facebook is slowing down the engagement, just like they did on the fan pages years ago, I used to put a post on a fan page, I get thousands of hits. Now I put a post on a fan page, I have 17, 18,000 people that follow me on my fan page. And if I get 4 likes, it's a lot. And it's from my super fans, okay? They don't show that to anybody unless I pay them. So now that they're changing the feed, guess what? You have to be connected with someone for them to see your story. They have to go look at your story, which they may or may not, and it's only a one-to-one basis. Facebook used to be a one-to-many basis, and it's changing by the minute. And groups are very relevant, and you notice they're changing the groups, and they change it to guides from units and all this other stuff, because they're going to start monetizing all of it. They're going to start monetizing all of it, and the very thing that was the bread and butter for your business can flip upside down in a minute. With an email list, you back up that list and you save it to the cloud or your computer. If your autoresponder has or shut down, you take that list, go to another company and say, here's my list, here's how I developed it, here's how I created it. Can I use your service? They go, yep, you upload it and you're done. So you own your list and you own your relationships. And by the way, let me debunk the myth. A lot of people think, well, I'm just going to go buy leads and throw them in my autoresponder. First of all, it's illegal. And second of all, those people will not respond to you. You know, you ever run solo ads? I love solo ads. Can work on little offers and doohickeys and WSOs, if you guys know what that is. They can work for sure. But generally speaking, when you run solo ads, you get all these weird responses back from weird people telling you about, you know, they skinned their knee in the 3rd grade and they've been emotionally bruised ever since. And now they're on SSI insurance and their check hasn't come and da-da-da-da-da. And if you could just pay for me to be involved in this, I'll pay you back on Tuesday, you know. Can you give me a dime today for a Hamburger? I would gladly pay you back on Tuesday. Who knows what that is? So the list is the last horizon. So let me close because I'm babbling and I got to get some more videos up for these guys. Twist your list. It's $200. I'm dropping the videos. It is a recorded course, but if you get it this week, I will let you watch the advanced session. So it's $200, which is $100 less than we've offered it for before. I will let you watch the advanced sessions. Okay. You don't have to, you won't get an advanced session because you're not in the advanced class, but I will let you watch them for free. If you want to be in the advanced workshop, you get the Twist Your List recordings for free, or you can take the week off, whatever you want to do. You're going to get not 1, but 2 live sessions with me now. So we're going to be working through all these ideas and concepts and helping you craft your story and how you want to write and what your list is going to be about. And you get all the recordings, and that's $500. And again, if you were to hire me for an hour, it would cost $500. You're getting 2 sessions. They're not going to be a whole hour, probably 50 minutes. And you get to watch everybody else's. And the thing that's most important is you learn when you're working with the teacher, but you learn a lot better when you're watching someone else working with the teacher, because when you're working with the teacher, you have your defenses up, your worries. I'm not a good writer. I'm not this. I'm bad speller. English is my second language, etc. I'm not poking fun, guys, because I speak languages. I'm a pretty good speller, but I'm typo problem. I always screw up the links and stuff. So I feel you. But when you're working with a teacher, all those defenses are up. When you're watching someone else, you're hearing the lessons. And I could sit and just lecture on how all this works, but then that's theory, right? I don't like to work in theory. I don't believe in working in theory. Here's a course, it's theory. No, we're going to actually do this. We're going to actually write the letters. We're going to, those of you that have a list going already, you're going to actually send them out. We're going to actually analyze results. We're going to actually pick this stuff apart. We're going to help each other on, look at our letters. How do they feel? Because that's the big gauge. How does it feel? That isn't grammatically correct. I'm going to teach all these tricks. You don't write higher than a third grade level if you want to be successful. I watch people all the time. They write, they think they're writing a soliloquy. They're writing a sonnet. No, you write at third grade level. You write to people like they're your friends. I'm teaching the whole course now. It's magical. So if you have interest in either of them, because I don't even have the link up for the other one, I'll put it in the description in a minute. You can message me. I can give you the link. If you want Twist Your List, which is just the videos, and you want to watch the live sessions, $200, $200, holla. Not $197 because I'm being difficult this week. I want your extra $3 because PayPal is going to charge me a fee. Okay. Twist Your List. It's at dianehochman.com/twist your list. If you want the whole kit and caboodle, because you want to get that double session, that's at dianehochman.com/email extravaganza. Let's spell that right. Okay. And at the end of the Twist Your List, if you guys want to upgrade, because you decided, wow, I want to go to the advanced, you can. I'll let you pay the difference, but you won't get the double session. Okay. You got to buy the double. If you want the double sessions, you got to buy the whole thing now. The extravaganza includes Twist Your List. So that's what's going on. Feel free to pass this along to anybody that you think it will help. I make these super reasonable on purpose. This is a very intimate group, by the way. Right now in the group, I think there's like 20 people because I didn't promote it. I didn't do my job. And that's why everybody's getting double sessions, because I want to give value. I want to make sure we have enough to learn from. So that's what's going on. What the heck is that, Alice? Is that my link? I don't know what that is. Hopefully that's my link. And Alice, either that or Alice is hijacking my live so she could get extra bird food for her birds. She has cute birds. 20 people is not amazing, Dina. It's a small group. But that's because I kind of said I was going to promote it. And truthfully, I went into a funk. I didn't feel good, and I went into a funk, and I didn't do my job. But that means you win. So if there was ever a time to take a workshop, this is a time. This is a really good time because it's going to be very intimate, hands-on. It's going to be great. And like I said, it's advanced because I did an email workshop not too long ago. Somebody might be thinking it's the same thing. Well, it is the same thing and it isn't. What does that mean? Are we going to go over the same concepts again? Sure will, because you need them repeated over and over and over, especially if you're not writing. If you took my email workshop recently, whenever that was, October, and you're not writing a list every day, you ain't doing the deal. So one, you need to focus in and do this. But two, it's going to be all of this live interactive stuff. So I'll have one person working with me, and then everybody else will be there, and we're going to be getting people's feedback, and then we're going to give assignments, and you guys will go write and put it in the group, and we'll tweak your writing. So to get that type of help at this price point, it's unheard of. So thank you, Jenny. So that's what's going on. If anybody has questions, a couple people are messaging me now. I'll message you back. If anybody has questions, again, you can upgrade at the end of the week, but you will not get the double session. I will be cutting the double sessions off any minute now. And that's not hype. I can only do so many. I am going to be, we're going to do this week. We're going to do next week. Then it's my birthday. So I want to celebrate my birthday, because it's my birthday. It's like my holiday season. Tomorrow is Lisa Grossman, my dear, dear, dear friend. It's her birthday. And once her birthday's over, my birthday holiday season begins. That's how it works. So like Thanksgiving ends, once Thanksgiving weekend is over, it's Christmas time. Once Lisa's birthday is over, it's Diane time. So, and then I can do a few more sessions that next week, depending on everybody's schedule and what everybody wants to do. And then I am got some other projects going on. So that's it. Last call. Thank you, Lindsay. My birthday is Easter week, actually. So I'll be hanging with mom and dad. It'll be awesome. So that's what's going on. And Lindsay, I am so excited to mess with you on this. Lindsay, If you guys don't know Lindsay Sewell, she is a true student, a true doer, a true action taker. Talk about somebody, you know, that's going for it, and she's doing it around two little girls. I'm dying to get in there with you because Lindsay, your stuff is really going to be higher level. We're going to meet everybody where they are. But your stuff is going to, I think we're going to come up with some crazy stuff. We also have Rena in there. She's also, you know, down the road. She runs a whole coaching program, etc. I think her stuff, what we develop, is going to be really powerful. And then everybody else, you guys, it's all about how serious you take this. If you go to work this week, we could be doing some deep end stuff with you. We'll do middle stuff. You know, we could be writing your first ones. We could be writing, you know, your killer sequence that sells something big. A lot of fun. So that's it. I am going to go. I got work to get up before it gets too late. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And for those of you guys, if the time is not right for you now, that's okay. I'm sure I'll come back and do another one at some point. I don't know when. I mean, the last time I did this was 2016. So I don't know when, because we did have an advanced group back then too. But this is my favorite thing to do. And the truth is, I want to teach it right now because I want to really dig into my writing. And when I'm writing with students, I'm very inspired to write myself. Just coming off of a really big score with a couple letters, you know, now I want to go in and show people, how did I do that? How did I, you know, how do you make 30 grand writing a couple letters? How do you do that? How do you recruit tons of people writing a couple letters? I'll show you everything I know. You got to practice. Okay. I will see you guys. Have a very wonderful night. Thanks for hanging with me. And I will see you guys later. If you message me, I'll check in with you in a few minutes, or email me, diane@dianehochman.com, or you can message me on Facebook. Some of you guys are seeing me on YouTube. If you're over on YouTube, please message me at diane@dianehochman.com, because I don't know that I'll use YouTube message in time. Okay. See you later.